Are you the guy who spent a year in a tarp?
I did.
Congratulations, Milwaukee!
Welcome to the West Wing Week, your guide to everything that's happening at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. This week, the president traveled to Florida, presented the Medal of Honor, met with some scouts, welcomed the Crimson Tide to the White House, and traveled to Brew City. That's February 26th to March 3rd, or...
See Wally over there?
Welcome to West Wing Week!
On Friday, the president headed to the Sunshine State to mark the 7th anniversary of the Recovery Act, which included millions in middle-class tax cuts and the largest ever investment in clean energy. It's an investment that's already paying off. While in Florida, the president visited a factory to highlight the significant progress the American economy has made since the Great Recession, emphasizing the millions of new jobs created in the last 7 years. On Monday, Leap Day, the president presented the Medal of Honor to Senior Chief Special Warfare Operator Edward Byers of the United States Navy. The award was to honor his valiant service in Afghanistan, and following the ceremony, Senior Chief Byers reflected on his receiving recognition for his service.
I can only hope that I continue to serve the Navy and the SEAL community in that manner where, 20 years from now, my fellow brethren would want to come up and still shake my hand.
On Tuesday, the president fulfilled his role as honorary president of the Boy Scouts of America, receiving a delegation of scouts in the Oval Office. The scouts presented the president with their annual report and discussed Boy Scouts' positive contribution to youth development.
Is that your owl? Is that the wolf owl?
On Wednesday, astronaut Scott Kelly was welcomed back to Earth after spending nearly a year in space, participating in an extensive genetic study about the effects of space on the human body. He is now the American who has spent the most cumulative time in space. Dr. Jill Biden joined the astronaut's family at Mission Control in Houston to celebrate his safe return. The president also phoned in from the Oval Office.
Man, welcome back.
Thank you very much. It's great to be back on Earth and headed back to the United States.
Roll Tide.
Thank you, Q. Then the tide rolled in as the president met and shook hands with each and every firm-gripped member of the championship Alabama Crimson Tide football team. As they say, roll tide. On Thursday, the president headed to Milwaukee, Wisconsin to celebrate that community's win in the Healthy Communities Challenge. Milwaukee signed up 38,000 more Americans for health care during the challenge. In Milwaukee, the president sat down for lunch with a group of folks who'd written to him to discuss how getting access to quality, affordable health insurance through the Affordable Care Act changed their lives. Then, the president gave a speech to the community that came together to make sure their friends and neighbors had signed up for health care. So stay engaged with us online, and remember, you can find out more information about any of these topics and see complete videos of these events at whitehouse.gov. Thanks so much for checking out this special edition of your West Wing Week.